In this video, we're going to be looking at magazine terminology in relation to articles. If you're doing A-level or BTEC, you will be given an assignment brief, and in that assignment brief will be a list of coding conventions that you must follow. In this video, I'll be using this double-page spread that I created on InDesign to take you through the terminology. The headline is one of the most important elements of a magazine layout design. It can be different sizes, but it should be the biggest text on the page. A headline should be interesting, meaningful, and compelling enough for the reader to want to read the article. The Standfirst, also known as an intro or kicker or a deck, is like a small paragraph, could even just be a sentence, which has a bit of content to introduce you to the article. It carries forward what a headline has succeeded in doing already, is catching the attention, and this will connect the reader to the main article and hopefully will sway them to read the rest of it. A byline credits the person who wrote the article and will also credit the photographer. Not all magazines bother doing this technique, so you must check your spec, your brief. Does it say that you need to have a byline? A drop cap is a large capital letter, use a decorative element at the beginning of a paragraph or section. It is usually 2 or more lines big. In publishing, the text is often known as copy. Now, the body text or the body copy, this is the main article. So this is where most of the text should be, or the copy. A running head is usually placed at the top of a magazine article, and it aids the readers in understanding what the article is about. It should be designed creatively, and so it looks good because it's present on almost all the pages of a magazine, and so the reader should see it every now and then, so it has to be visually attractive. All magazine articles will have a column of some kind, usually between 2 and 4 columns. It is a way of dividing up the article so it looks neat and looks tidy and is easier to read. Magazines don't tend to have 1 column layouts. It's usually 2 at the minimum and 4 at the most. Sometimes you'll find 5 column layouts, but this is very rare. Pull quotes are short excerpts from the presented text. They're used to pull a text passage out of the reader's flow and give it a more dominant position in the post or the article. Pull quotes are a great technique for drawing attention to key items of a text on a layout, and are often used in design to make a feature of interesting sound bites. Subheadings are used to break an article into various sections or compartments, indicating what the next set of paragraphs is going to talk about. It can be written in the same font in which the body copy is written, but it should stand out from the body copy at the same time. So you could do it in capitals, you can do it in bold, and that should make it stand out. The main image is simply the biggest picture on the article. If the article is an interview of a famous person, then the main image should be that person quite large. There may be other images of that person, but obviously it'd be a lot smaller. So the main image is the biggest image on the page. Image captions are a way to complement the image that is being used in the article. A caption should describe an image and should ideally be placed immediately below the image. In magazines like Empire, they will often do little funny image captions to make you laugh, while other magazines it's more informative. In terms of my example, where it says you can store lots of stuff here, that should guide the reader into thinking that this shed is quite big and you can store lots of items in there. So this is a technique called anchorage. The footer, or the page number, also known as a folio, can consist of several elements. The page number must be there, but the others are optional. They could be the name of the magazine, the date or the month or the year. Box copy, or a panel, should contain important facts related to the topic of the article that a reader should know while reading a magazine article. These could be statistics or dates or anything factual in nature which is important to know and short in length. So for music magazines, this could be all the albums that the artist or band have done. And these boxes can also have a dedicated heading as well. In page layout, illustration or sculpture, white space is often referred to as negative space. It is the portion of a page left unmarked by the margins, the gutters. It's the space between columns, lines, typed graphics, figures or objects drawn. It's usually found around images of people or objects. So that was my breakdown of an article and all the conventions that are used. So now you need to go back to your assignment brief and check to see which conventions you've been asked to do and make sure you apply them to your own work.